And let's begin the reading test. We have got three types of questions. One first gap fill, another gap fill, and two terms not given. Let's look at the first type of question. Then the roots can extend as far as 80 meters. The roots of this tree can access deep below the surface. Can access deep below the surface. Okay, let's find out 80 meters. Here in the passage. Okay, here we got 50 to 80 meters in the first. Now let's read from the above sentence. This is why the Hurango tree is so suited to life there. It has the longest root. Okay, we got the word. Entry in the world. This tree is now 50 to 80 meters, and as well as sucking up. Okay, axis means sucking up water for the tree and brings into the higher subsoil, creating a water source for other plant life. So this sucking up means axis and water up of the tree. Let's look at the answer question. Its roots can extend as far as 80 meters on the soil, can access water. So answer for question number one. Question number one is water. Sorry, what happened here? Oh my God. No. Oh, that's so unexpected. Let's see where has it clicked. No. So sad. Just keep writing. Okay, the answer for question number is water. Sorry. We are here is in case of water. Okay. Bhavana Rai has joined once and is struggling, I guess. And do you see, guys? We had our answer
Yes.
here as,
Yes.
and we wrote the answer means this axis, and the answer is water. WATE water. It's typing there. Now, so slow. Okay. Look at another question. Was crucial part of local inhabitants a long time ago. Local inhabitants possessive noun is missing. Okay, crucial part, very crucial part, important. We'll be searching here. We have not got traditional use of this Urengo. Now look at the question then. We got the answer, okay, sucking up axis. Then now let's this David, this Bresford Jones, this archaeobotanist, Cambridge University has been studying the role of the Hurango tree in landscape change in the disease. He believes Hurango was key, very crucial to ancient peoples. Here, peoples means ancient. Sorry, in evidence, died. Got the point, guys? Here, peoples and here people's died, but in the question there is in evidence. Okay, so the answer for question number 2 is died. Got the point? Let's look at another question. Help people to survive periods for. Okay, let's go back to the question. because it could reach deep water source and allowed local people to this and failed. But over the centuries, means long period of time. Okay, long period of time, Harango tree were gradually replaced with crops. Cutting down native woodland leads to erosion. There is nothing to keep in the soil place. When Harango go, turns and have nothing that. Okay. Let's look at here. People's died and because it could reach deep water sources and it allowed local people to witness years of drought, long years of drought. Years of drought means period of years means year period, okay? Look here. Find out. Help people to survive periods of drought. D-R-O-U-G-S-T. Drought. Let's look. Prevents of the soil. Prevents means stops of the soil. Let's look of the soil. Prevents of the soil. We need to just look below. Soil we get. Okay, let's see. And gradually then, but over the century, Harango trees were gradually replaced with crops. Cutting down native woodland leads the erosion. That is erosion, okay? As there is nothing to keep in the soil in place. So the answer is erosion on the soil, E-R-O-S-I-O-N, erosion. Look here, how is it paraphrased? Question number 4, E-R-O-S-I-O-N, erosion. Now look, prevents land from becoming a, and becoming a prevents again. Let's look back to the passage and find out. So that the Hurango go and land turns into desert or desert. That is desert. So the answer is desert. D-E-S-E-R-T, desert, okay? Look, 5 questions. Now, traditional use. We'll be looking about traditional uses of orango tree. No more than 2 words given. And have we talked about this? These local families have told Wiley about this man has not come, okay? We'll be looking this one. Now let's talk about traditional uses of orango tree, parts of tree, and it is for fuel, medicine, and construction, okay? Now let's look, fuel, medicine, construction. In the following paragraph, there is nothing. Orango was vital to people of this neighboring middle of these two, grew vegetables under this aid made from these pots and leaves and barks, herbal remedies. Did you get the answer?
Leaves and bark.
And leaves and bark. Leaves and bark were used for herbal remedies. Remedies mean there is medicine, yes. Herbal remedies. Okay, we got the answer here. Look here. The answer is
Leaves and
leaves. L-E-A-V-E-S, leaves. One. And the one is
bark.
One is bark. Okay. B-A-R-K, bark. Now look, and now construction fuel. We need construction fuel. Okay. Whose dog is on the back side?
Branches.
Branches for cooking and heating. Okay, we got the answer here. Branches for charcoal, and charcoal means charcoal and cooking for, these are the fuel, okay? Fuel, okay, branches, the answer of question number, this is not in order by the way here, okay? Because the questions came, 7 number came first, then 6, branches, B-R-A-N-C-H-E-S, branches. Let's get, now we need construction. Construction means building or making. Okay. Construction means, let's look here, and then
Build
because
house.
if
Trunk.
look here,
Trunk.
was used to build houses, construction houses, then that's trunk.
Trunk.
Okay, circle and heating, and its trunk was used to produce trunk. The answer for question number 8 is trunk. Got the point? Look here, this
Yes.
question number 6 and 7, they are not in order, okay? They are in random order. Now we have solved 8 questions. Now we need to look at the question. Sirdana, please read the question. Sirdana, are you there? Janani,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
can you read?
Local families at the total valley about some traditional uses of Vurango product.
Local families have told widely about
Valley.
some traditional uses of Hurango products. Okay, traditional uses of Hurango products. Did the local people say this to this man? Let's look. First of all, find out the name of this man. There is no one. Okay, local people say. Okay, here the name is given. Let's read. Of the forest were about this 1000 years ago, 99% have already gone, says botanist Oliver Wiley, come from Kew Gardens in London, who together with ethnobotanist Dr. William Dish running the pioneering project to protect and restore the rapidly disappearing habitat. Others succeed. William needs to get local people on board, and this has meant overcoming local prejudice. Increasingly inspirational communities think that if you plant food trees in your home, sacred it shows you to this poor and still your days. It says in other step to middle ice valley going to this. Ika. This local people said about is the main process natural reap this one already
Culture.
in the festival. Right? There is no information. Let's see, in order to get local people interested in habitat restoration, you need to plant a tree that is useful them to say Wiley, and he says this
He has
Wiley,
been
okay,
working
need
on
to plant a tree that is useful, and so it has been working with.
enterprises.
Okay, he has been working with local families to attempt to create a suitable income from Horango by turning their products into foodstuffs.
Buddhist.
But the people didn't say about the, let's say medical uses, some traditional uses of Horango products. There is no information. That's not given. Question number 9 is not given. Not given. Okay, let's see question number 11. Now look here. Farmer, okay, farmer Alberto Bendivis is now making a good profit from growing horengos. Is making good profit from growing horengos. Okay, this man. Now let's find out the name of this man quickly in the passage. Did you see the man? Yes, I got this.
Albert.
And he is making money.
Running
Okay,
valley.
he is making money. Let's see. Now let's see. Oily help setup has been planting tree for 13 years. He produces uh, syrup and flour and sells these products at organic farmers market in Lima. His farm is relatively small and doesn't yet produce him. Okay. Look, and farm is relatively very small and doesn't yet provide him with enough to live in.
Enough to live on.
Struggling to live with this let's say profession, but he hopes
Yeah.
this will change. He is not earning now, he is just struggling. He hasn't yet provide this let's say has not provide him with enough to live on, means he is not earning enough profit. Okay,
False.
he
False.
just he thinks he will in the future, but not now. This is false. Let's willingness to the cooperation of farmers to help preserve the area's wildlife. Okay, look here, needs cooperation of farms to help preserve the
Must have
area wildlife.
areas
Okay,
for wildlife.
now let's look. He needs help. Okay, this man. Now look here in this. Here is the area. But even if we can convince the local people to fall in love with the harango again, there is still the threat of the longer farms. Some of these got across. Some of these got across the forest and break up the corridors. Okay, break up the corridors. Some of these got across forest and break up the corridors that allow the essential movement of mammals, birds, and pulling up it down in narrow forest strip in the hope of contracting these persuading farmers to let him plant forest in
Corridor.
their land. He
And
believes the extra woodland will also benefit the farmers by producing their water uses through lowering of evaporation and providing refugee to bio control insects. And then question number, let's see here. This is doesn't clearly make the sense. Look, willingness the cooperation of farmers to help
cooperation.
prevents the local areas wildlife. Local areas wildlife. Okay, and this give the sense also. Look here. He can convince local people to fall in love with this orango. Again, there is still the threat of the larger farms. Some of these got across this. So he needs, let's say, cooperation. Okay, this paragraph makes the same sense. The answer is true. Question number 11, true. Let's look another question. For Willie project to succeed, it needs to be extended over a very large area. Over a large area to succeed. Large area or just let's look here. It was also here to succeed. Okay, here you go. Extra woodland will also benefit the farms by reducing their water uses. Okay, there is no one. If we can record biodiversity and see how it all works, then we are going a good position to move on from there. Desert inhabitants can reduce down very little. Well, explains it's not like a rainforest that needs to have this huge expense. Okay, look, the meaning is different. It's not like a rainforest that needs to have this huge expense. Now he doesn't need very large, let's say, space. Look the question. Project to succeed, it needs to be extended over very large area. No, only small is enough. This is false. Going on. This Wiley has plans to go to Africa to set up a similar project. He has a plan to go to Africa to set up a similar project. Okay. Is he going? Does he have plan or not? Let's see. Okay, okay. Africa was the keyword, Africa. Okay, we got the Africa here. Let's look here then. If we can do it here in the most fragile system on earth, then that's the real message of hope for lots of places indicating Africa where there is drought and they can just can't afford to wait for rain. Then look, let's read from here then. He sees his project as a model that has the potential to be rolled out across other arid areas around the world. If we can do it here in most of the fragile system on earth, then that's the real message of hope for lots of places, including Africa, where there is drought and they just can't afford to work. Look the question here. There is no meaning.
Not given. Not
He has
given.
not planned to set up similar project there.
Not
Answer
given.
is not given. Answer is not given. Have we solved all the question? Right? Have you written the answers?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
All 13 out of 13. Okay, let's check the answers then. Susan, read the answer. Okay, just 1 true, 1 correct, 2 correct, 3 correct, 4 correct, 5 wrong, like that. Okay,
Okay, sir.
let's see whether we get 13 out of 13 or not. We need to quickly skim and scan. Okay, and we need to just find out the question area and tackle there. Here is the answer.
One correct.
Question number 1, water
Correct.
2s,
Correct.
2
Diet
type
correct.
correct, 3
Drought correct.
cloud, 4
Erosion correct.
5
Desert correct.
9 desert, 6 okay branches.
Correct.
Sorry, question number 6 is
Leaves
the
and
branches. Question number
Correct.
7, leaves and bark. 8
Correct.
trunk. We got the answer.
Correct.
9 not given as.
Correct.
10
Yes. False. Not
false, yes,
correct. Yeah.
correct. 11 true, correct.
Correct.
12 false, correct, yes.
Yeah, everything. Every answers are
13 not
correct.
given. Okay, we got all 13 out of 13. Okay, we'll be practicing reading passage 2 tomorrow. Come in time. We'll be practicing one more tomorrow. Okay, the time is
Okay,
going to
sir.
be out for today. Have a good
Thank
day.
you, sir. Same to you.
Okay, okay. Have a good day and bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
bye, sir.
So I'll be uploading this video later on my channel. You can again see there and let's say understand better and more. Okay, there are more videos. Please keep watching them. Okay. So Divas and this mobile number can leave. You can leave the meeting. So if you please like this video helpful and let's say effective, just leave your valuable comments, subscribe my channel, okay, like and share this video among your friends. And I'll also be uploading more videos in the days ahead. Have a good time and good luck and good day. And it's time to say goodbye to all.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
IELTS book 15 reading test 4, reading test 4 and reading passage 2, and keep the numbers from 14 to 26 because we have done already one passage. Here we have got true, false, not given question. Okay. Then another type of question here in this reading passage we get is gap fill question. Okay, that's great. 2 types of questions in this passage and we'll be solving them simultaneously. All right. Here we have been asked to write one word only, then high and low frequency tones. high and low frequency tones represent different sounds in Spanish. Okay. Keyword is here for this question, high and low sound. And here, La Gomera is the most mountainous of all Culinary Islands. This is the name, and it says the most mountainous of all. Of all the, okay, this is the main controlling idea, comparison. Let's Shivo is only appropriate, only is the controlling idea only for the short and simple messages. Okay, let's continue the reading passage. Reading passage 2, you should spend about 20 minutes on questions 14 to 26, which are based on reading passage 2 below. Silvo Gomero, the whistle language of Canary Island. Okay. Arun Gatan, read the first paragraph.
Okay, sir. La Gomera is one of the Canary Islands situated in the Atlantic Ocean of the northwest coast of Africa. The small volcanic island is a mountainous with the steepy rocky slope and deep wooded business ranging to 1,487 kilometers is the highest peak. It is also the home to the best known of the world's whistles language, a means of transmitting information over a long distance, which is perfectly adapted to the extreme terrain of Iceland.
Okay, great. Look here, this Canary Island situated in the Atlantic Ocean of the northwest coast of Africa. This is small, okay? This is small volcanic island is mountainous. This is mountainous. And here the question says, this says is the all then, okay? La Gomera is the most mountainous of all the, this is not all the, this is one of the, okay?
One of the.
There is no comparison, most mountainous of all the culinary islands. So there is no comparison. Then this answer, this question is not given. When there is no comparison, okay? Very tricky question that you got. That's great. Another question. Janani Basnet.
Yes, sir.
Can you read this question number 15?
Silvo is only appropriate for short and simple messages.
Okay, silvo is only appropriate for short and silvo messages. Okay, let's find out silvo. Only for short and let's say small like that, silvo. Now here we got this, okay, silvo. Read this paragraph then.
This language, known as Silvo or Silvo Gomero, from the Spanish word for whistle, is now shedding light on the language processing abilities of the human brain. According to scientists, researchers said that Silvo activates parts of the brain normally associated with spoken language, suggesting that the brain is remarkably flexible in its ability to interpret sounds as language.
What does it say? The silvo activates parts of brain normally associated with spoken language. Then above that, this is the word for whistle is now shedding light to the language processing activities of human brain, okay? Let's see here. Does it, silvo is only appropriate for short and simple messages. There is no information taken, okay? We didn't get the exact question area. Let's look here. High and low frequency tones represent silvo gomero in sound in Spanish. Then these two questions are not at, and this paragraph is worth reading, worthless. Continue reading. Okay, Janani, read another paragraph.
Science has developed the idea of brain areas that are dedicated to language, and we are starting to understand the scope of signals that can be recognized as language, says David Corina, co-author of a recent study and associate professor of psychology at the University of Washington in Seattle.
Okay, look here. Here there is no only for appropriate one, okay? In the brain activity study, seal borders, there is no seal border yet, okay? Let's move on. There is no high and low frequency. Again, the questions are not taken from these paragraphs. Now we need to go on. Continue reading.
Silbo is a substitute for Spanish, with individuals words recorded into whistles which have high and low frequency tones.
Okay, just stop here, bhai. Stop here. We got the answer, okay? We got here not true false but gap fill. High and low
Yes, sir.
frequency tones represent different sound in Spanish words. Here, look here. It clearly says Shiba is a substitute of Spanish with individual words recorded into whistle which have high and low frequency tones. Then the answer is words. Got the point? We got the answer for question number 20, words. WORDS. Okay, that's great. Moving on. Pitch of the whistle is controlled using silboards. Possessive noun is missing. Anyway, we'll be looking. Now continue reading from the second line. Okay.
A whistler or silbador puts a finger in his or her mouth to increase the whistle's pitch, while the other hand can be cupped to adjust the direction of the sound. There is much more ambiguity.
Okay, stop here, bhai. There had already been the answer. Look. A whistler, okay, or silbos puts a finger in his or her mouth. Okay, look here. Here is answer is finger, you know. Pitch of whistle is controlled using silbos finger. Answer is
finger.
F-I-N-G-E-R, finger. Another also. It changed with the cupped hand. What it changed? Look. It changed with the cupped hand. Go back to the passage and search for the answer. Look here. While the other hand can be cupped to adjust the direction of the sound. The answer is then direction. Okay? Direction of the sound. So the answer for question number
22.
22 is
Direction.
okay. This is direction. That's great. Now we are just solving two questions simultaneously. Okay. Then how silver is used? Every day. Every day means always. Okay. Used for the transmission of brief is the answer word. Let's read, continue, and then we shall be reading this only short for simple messages. There is no information and carry on. Dear from dear.
There is much more ambiguity in the whistled signal than in the spoken signal, explains lead researcher Manuel Carreras, psychology professor at the University of La Laguna on the Canary Island of Tenerife. Because whistles words can be hard to distinguish, silbadors rely on repetition as well as awareness of context to make themselves understood.
What does it talk? Okay, my battery is going. Okay, just keep understanding the message. I am connecting my charger. Is it only suitable short? Okay, short and simple message. There is no information yet. Okay. Look here. What's wrong then again? Okay. Silver is only appropriate for short and simple languages. In the brain activity studies, syllables and non-whistlers produce different results. No words as still, okay? The questions are not taken. We need to silvo, how silvo is used, has long been used, and shepherds, there is no word still shepherd. Okay. From this paragraph, only these three questions are taken. Now keep reading. Shepherds we got. Okay. Read please.
The Silvadores of Gomera are traditionally shepherds and other isolated mountain folk, and their noble means of staying in touch allows them to communicate over distances of up to 10 kilometers. Carreras, Carreras explains that Silvadores are able to pass a surprising amount of information via their whistles. In daily life, they use whistles to communicate short commands, but any Spanish sentence could be whistled.
Okay,
Silvo has
wait. In daily life, they use whistles to communicate short commands. Okay, look here. See here. Every day, okay, is okay in everyday use for the transmission of brief commands. Is the answer commands? Brief means short. Okay. Look here, how has this question been paraphrased? Short commands. Brief means short. Now commands. Answer is commands. We have not got this gap fill question yet. That's very tricky. Okay. COMMENDS commands. Are you enjoying the lesson or not, guys?
Yes, sir.
Other students can rarely essential information quickly example inform people about. Okay. Now we need to search answer below. We have not got gap true false question. Okay, please read this.
Silvo has proved particularly useful when fires have occurred on the island and rapid communications across large areas has been vital.
This is the answer. Look here. Silver has proved particularly useful when fires have occurred on the island and rapid communication across large areas. Now look, only for short one simple message was there. Okay. On communication across large area has been vital. Look, we have got answer for question number 2. 15. Silver is only appeared for short and simple messages. No, for the large distance too. And vital also. It has been vital. Okay, very important. So the answer for question number 15 is false then. Right answer false. It is taken from here now. That's great. And here we have got another answer for question number 24. The answer, look, can relay essential information quickly. Example to inform people about fire. Is there fire or fires?
Fires.
Fire or fires?
Fires.
Okay, we shall see over here. I am not sure. Let's see the spelling. Anyway, we shall see this. And then future under threat because of new. Because of new. This is the keyword. The future of this language is because of this, okay? Oh shit. Because of new. Let's look at the future it seems, but we need to search the answer of these other questions too. In the brain activity studies, silvers and non-whistlers produce different results. Okay, produce different results. Keep reading. We have done this. Please read.
The study team used neuroimaging equipment to contrast the brain activity of Salvador's while listening to whistles and spoken Spanish. Results showed the left temporal lobe of the brain, which is usually associated with spoken language, was engaged during the processing of silvo. The researchers found that other key regions in the brain's frontal lobe also responded to the whistles, including those activated in response to sign language among deaf people. When the experiments were repeated with non-whistles, however, activation was observed in all areas of the brain.
Read the last sentence then. When the experiments were repeated with non-whistlers, however, activation was observed in all areas of the brain, okay? Then look here, they haven't got the different one. Look here. In the brain activity study, silvers and non-whistlers produce different result. No, they produce the same result, not the different. This is false. F-A-L-S-E, false answer. The Spanish introduced silver to the islands in the 15th century. Okay, let's see. Silver in the 15th century. Introduced, and here the future of it, not the future of this has not come out. Okay, future under threat. Let's look again. Read the following passage. Please continue.
Our results provide more evidence about the flexibility of human capacity for language in a variety of forms, Corina says. This data suggests that left hemisphere language regions are uniquely adapted for communicative purposes independent of the modality of signal. The non-Silvo speakers were not recognizing Silvo as a language. They had nothing to grab onto, so multiple areas of their brains were activated.
There is no question taken. Okay, here the Spanish introduced silver to the islands in the 15th century. Okay, let's read. Now look, we need to read here.
Carreras. Carreras says the origins of Silvo Gomero remain obscure, but that indigenous Canary Islanders who were of North Africa origin already had a whistle language when Spain conquered the volcanic island in the 15th century.
We got the answer now. Read from here. Already had the whistle language when Spain conquered the volcanic islands in the 15th century. What does it talk about? Look here. What is this? Carrierians says the origins of Silvo Gomero remains obscure, but the indigenous Canary Islanders who were at North African origin already had a whistle language when Spain conquered the volcanic island in the 15th century. Whistle language survive today in Papua New Guinea, Mexico, Vietnam, Guyana, China, Nepal, Senegal, and few mountainous populations in southern Europe. There are thoughts to be as so many as 70 whistle languages still in use, though only 12 have been described and studied sufficiently. Look here then. The Spanish introduced silver to the islands in the 15th century. There is precise data available regarding all sorts of whistle language in existing today. No, it gives the opposite meaning. A few mountainous pockets in southern this, there are thought to be as many as 30 whistle languages still in use, though only 12 have been described in, okay, there is no precise one. So the answer for this is, this precise data available. Let's look at question number 17 then. The Spanish introduced silver to the islands in the 15th century. Does it give the same meaning? We have to decide the answer here. Read from the first line then again. It's remain obscure, but the indigenous Canary Islanders who were of North African origin already had a whistle language when Spanish introduced the volcanic islands in the 15th century. Survive today in, okay. This gives the same sense, I guess. It is true. What do you say? What does your knowledge say? Question number 17.
Concord गरेछ introduce र concord को meaning हुन्छ र concord.
What does your mind say? Look here, what does this question say? What is this? Remain obscure, but the indigenous Canary Islanders who were of North African origin already had a whistle language when Spain conquered the volcanic islands in the 15th century. It's so tricky. Western languages survive today in Papua New Guinea, Mexico, Vietnam, Guyana, China, Nepal, Senegal, and few mountains population. This, okay, although this, okay. This form of communication is an adaptation from among cultures, and people are often isolated from each other, according to Julian Meyer, a researcher at the Institute of Human Science in Lyon, France. They are mostly used in mountains or dense forest sites. Western languages are quite clearly defined and represent the original adaptation of the spoken language for the needs of isolated human groups. The Spanish introduced silver to the Spanish. This is pretty tough. There are precise data available regarding all of the Western languages existed today. All are there? No, only 12 are there. 70. This answer is false, by the way. But question number 17 is so tricky. We need to decide. This is false, okay? FALSE false. Question number 18. Okay, we have to decide this. The Spanish introduced the silver to the islands in the 15th century. It seems like that, okay? It gives the meaning here. Already had a Western language. When Spanish conquered the Bulgarian islands in the 15th century, the Western languages survived today. Yes, this answer is true, right? True. If it goes wrong, then it is not out of our, this is not in our level, okay? This is out of our level. There are precise data available regarding all sorts of Western languages in existence today. Let's see again. What does it say? It says there are mostly used in mountains or defense forests. Says Western languages are quite clearly defined. Oh, what does it say? It says quite clearly defined and represent in original adaptation of spoken language for needs of isolation. All that doesn't talk about all. That's false. Okay, read the last paragraph then.
But with modern communication technology now widely available, researchers say Western languages like Silbo are threatened.
We have got the answer for gap fill question, you know. Modern means new. Here the answer is technology. The answer is future under threat because of new technology. The answer is technology. But there is the huge problem in question number 17, okay? And Canaries authorities hoping to receive a UNESCO, okay? What they hope? Let's see. We shall be searching answer. And here we have one question. The children of Gomero now learn silver. Okay. Now read, please. Read from here.
With the dwindling numbers of Gomera Islanders still fluent in the language, Canaries authorities are taking steps to try to ensure its survival. Since 1999, Silver Gomero has been taught in all of the island's elementary schools. In addition,
look. Since 1999, Silver Gomero has been taught in all of the island's elementary school. No, here has been means look, it is still going on. So the answer is true. This answer is true, okay? This has been taught. Okay, then what are they aiming to receive? Continue. In addition,
locals are seeking assistance from the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. The local authorities are trying to get an award from the organizations to declare as something that should be preserved.
I got the answer, award. They know the local authorities are trying to get an award from this organization, okay? Look here, then how has it been paraphrased? Canaries authorities hoping to receive a UNESCO award. Okay? AWARD award. Okay. Look here. We have done all questions, okay, remaining. We have done all questions. Let's check the answers. There is a huge doubt anyway. And tell me the answers. We had once written fire or fires where it was. It is fires, okay? F-I-R-E-S, fires. Let's make it fires. Where have we written fires? Hey, it was here, okay? fingers. It was comments. Yeah, okay. It's make fires, okay? Fires. Okay, let's now check the answers. Monali,
Yes, sir.
your job is to check the answers, okay?
Okay, sir.
Say question number 14 to correct or not?
Right, sir. Correct.
Right.
Correct.
False.
Question number
15 is also
correct.
right.
Question number 15,
Correct, sir.
16.
It's
Wrong,
not
sir.
correct.
We have written.
We have written false.
That's okay. We made this mistake. Another question 17.
False. It's we are
Wrong,
writing true.
sir.
This is also wrong. Then we got the wrong question area. 18,
Right.
18 is right, sir.
19.
Right,
Right.
sir.
Okay, we have got two wrongs. Okay, question number. How many mistakes are there? Two.
2.
2.
True.
Okay. 20,
20. Right, sir.
21.
Finger direction.
Right.
Okay, direct. Gap will all
Right.
correct. 20, 23.
Commands.
Comments. 24.
False.
5.
25. Technology. 26. Award.
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 Then we got just 11 out of 15 yes from this.
15 and
Yes.
17.
And where are our mistakes in question number 16 and
17.
16 and 17? Okay, we had a great problem over there then. We stuck there, yes? Oh my god. Let's see then. We stuck in this question, yes, a lot.
Yes, sir.
16 and 17 we made mistake, yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
In
sir.
the brain activity study, silvers and non-whistlers produce different results. Different results are, what did we, answer was here, yes. The researcher found that key regions of brain these. Where was the area? It was here, yes. Let's see. Let's find out 17 first, then we shall go to 16. This year, Silvo Gamero Raymond Oscar bought the indigenous Canary Islands who were in North America origin already had, they had already used this one, okay? Spanish language was already used, already had a whistle language. Then that's pretty, this is pretty, we made a great mistake here. The answer is false. We couldn't negotiate there. F-A-L-S false. We made the mistake anyway. Let's learn from the mistake. Then in the brain activity study, silvers and non-whistlers produce different results. Okay, let's find out this brain activity study. How did we make mistake then? We need to search here, okay? In these two paragraphs, brain activity, this is the exact area. The study team of neuroimaging equipment to contrast the brain activity of silvers while listening to the whistle in spoken Spanish. Results showed the left temporal lobe of the brain, which is usually associated with spoken language, was engaged during the processing of silver. Then look, results showed the left temporal lobe of the brain, which is usually associated with the spoken language. Then it was associated, then it was not different. This is the pretty. The brain activity study silvers and non-whistle produce different results. No, they produce the same results. Okay. So the answer that we made wrong, I guess I get problem in internet. So the time is going to be over. We shall practice another reading passage tomorrow, and we made 2 mistakes. Try to get band 8 plus. Okay?
Okay,
You,
sir.
you can leave the meeting, and then I'll be sharing this
Sir.
video on my YouTube channel, and there you can see again, find out the mistakes that we made. Hope this lesson will be helpful to all the students who are preparing for IELTS. Have a good day. Okay? Bye-bye.
Sir,
Thank
Bye-bye,
you,
bye.
sir.
sir. Bye.
Have a great day. So good morning, everybody. So we were doing well there, and today in this video I am going to solve the last remaining reading passage from Cambridge book number 15, test number 4. As I have already done all reading tasks and uploaded, except one there, it is still to do. I'll be doing that one as well, and there is another passage remaining. Okay. So in this video, I am going to solve this reading test number 4, reading passage, 3 of the last reading passage. I hope this lesson will be very helpful, and my ideas will be very fruitful to you to solve the questions in your exam. So reading passage 3, you should spend about 20 minutes and on question 27 to 40, which are based on reading passage 3 below, environmental practices of big businesses. So let's see the types of questions here. Oh, that's very tough question here. This question is tough because of these options. They are paraphrased. Again, these questions are 97 to 99% in order. Okay. And another type, okay, another is multiple choice question for 20, 32, 33, and 34. They are 100% in order of the text. And here it says the third paragraph. Okay, the answer is there in third paragraph. This is in below, this is below. Okay, okay, we are sure there. Okay, another type of question is yes, no, not given. This is always 100% in order of the text. And here it says the public should be prepared to fund good environmental practices. And the last one is subheading. Oh, then best subheading. We have got 4 types of questions in this passage. Now, I'm not going to read the questions, but going to read the first paragraph. Okay. The environmental practices of big businesses are shaped by a fundamental fact that for many of us offends our sense of justice. Depending on the circumstances of business, maximize the amount of money it takes, at least in the short term, by damaging the environmental and hurting people. This is still the case today for fishermen in unmanaged fishery without courts, and for the international logging companies with short-term leases on tropical rainforest land in places with corrupt officials and unsophisticated landowners. When governmental regulation is effective and when the public is environmentally aware, environmentally clean, big business may outcompete dirty ones, but the reverse is likely. Okay, but the reverse is likely to be true if government regulation is ineffective and if the public doesn't care. Okay, let's see either we get the questions or not from this passage. Many big businesses today are prepared to harm people and the environment in order to make money, and they appear to have no and lack of this by government and lack of public, lack of, and they lead the environmental problems such as, okay, there are problems and destruction of. Look here, the questions are in the first paragraph, definitely. Here what it says, still that the case today for a fisherman to an unmanaged fishery without courts. Courts is there, courts means some regulations. Many big businesses today are prepared to harm people and the environment in order to make money, and they appear to have no quotes. Quotes means no funding, no trees, no rare species, moral standards. Yeah, this is moral standard. Quotes means quotes. Okay, quote and conducts. The answer for question number 27 is D. Okay, and then all questions are there, but lack of by government, lack of there is regulation. There was regulation, answer is, for example, it was here when government regulation is effective. This is when ineffective regulation is ineffective, that is effective regulation. This is also regulation. Look at the answer. Okay, question. The lack of regulation by government, regulation, funding, no, fooding, no, trees, control. Yeah, control, regulation means control. And this answer to question number 28. What's done? 28 is E. So these questions are deadly paraphrased, and again the options by the government and lack of public. Okay, lack of public. Okay, here it says lack of public. Reasonable likely that if the government and inactive and if the public doesn't care, it means doesn't care means they give no value, okay, or they do not give priority. Let's see, public doesn't public. Okay, let's see concern of this by government and lack of public funding no, flooding no, trees no, public overfishing no, care especially no, public involvement. Yeah, they don't involve in, they don't care. Oh, this is deadly paraphrase. Lack of public involvement. This answer is F. Again, these questions uh, can lead to environmental problems such as and destruction of. Okay, it was again there, destruction of. This answer are not here. That is still the case today for fishermen for an unmanaged fishery. Unmanaged fishery. The answer is unmanaged fishery. Here we go. Unmanaged fishery. Okay. Sorry. What does it say? It says unmanaged fishery without quotes, and then here it says can lead the environmental problems such as overfishing. Yes, unmanaged means overfishing. The answer is H here. The answer is H here. In or the destruction of unmanaged fishery and overfishing, that is paraphrased with fishery and coasts and for international logging companies with short-term leases on tropical rainforest in land in places, tropical rainforest, which corrupt officials and unsophisticated landowners. Okay, here it says rainforest. And then destruction of rainforest. Rainforest means trees. Yes, that is exactly, rainforest means trees. The answer for question number 41 is B. Okay, these two questions are not in order. Question number B, very tough question. In 27, 20, 29 they came in order, but 30 and 31 they were in random order. Now go to, like, we shall go in paragraph number 3 later. See, either this question is taken. Public should be prepared to fund good environmental practices. Let's find out good environmental practices in passage 2 or not. One, there is no good environmental practices. There is no any environment. There is no any environment in this passage. Okay, or in this paragraph. Sorry, in this paragraph. So this paragraph, there is, sorry, this paragraph is, there is no question, and we won't read. There is no question because it says the good environment one. Now question passage, question number multiple choice says Our blaming of businesses also ignores the ultimate responsibility of the public for creating the condition that led to business profit through destructive environmental policies. Okay, it says ignore the ultimate responsibility of public for creating the conditions that led a business profit through destructive environmental policies. Destructive in the okay, public. Let's see. The main idea of the paragraph third is that environmental damage requires political action. No, it is the result of ignorance. Yes, it is the result of ignorance. Here, look here what it says. It exactly says ignores that ultimate responsibility of public. Exactly, the answer is there. So the answer for question number 32 is B. Okay, this is B. So you need to just get the gist. In fourth paragraph, we shall read fourth paragraph, and their public, let's say, in good environmental policies or practices. Let's see here in this paragraph, nothing about environmental. Okay, now public can do by suing businesses for harming them, as happened after the Exxon Blazer disaster, in which over 4,000 meter cube. Okay, this oil was spilled off the coast of Alaska. And the public may also make. Okay, I'm getting some text from backside. There is another app going on. Okay, and build the sustainable harvest product by making employ companies with both track records and this while management preferring government and award valuable contracts to business with the good environmental track record and by presenting their government to pass the enforced laws and regulating. Okay, let's see here. I got disturbed because of that background message. In the fourth paragraph, the writer describes ways in which public can. Okay, public can. Okay, let's see what can they under public can. Okay, look here in paragraph. Public can do that by using business for harming them. Okay, they can understand this. And happen in after this oil spilled on coast of Alaska. They can do by suing businesses for harming them. They can understand the back effects. Paragraph the writer describe ways in which public can reduce their own individual impact. No, learn more about the impact of the exactly this is the, it says in the very first sentence. What it says, the public can learn exactly. It says here in the beginning that public can do by suing businesses can do this harming them exactly. There is no. Let's talk about good sound environmental practices. Environmental track is here. Good environmental track record. Okay, let's say by preferring their governments to award valuable contracts to businesses with a good environmental track record by pressing their governments to pass and enforce the regulation. But it doesn't talk about the funding. It doesn't talk about funding here. Uh, so it doesn't talk about funding. Okay. What pressure was exerted? What pressure was exerted by business in the case of disease BSE? What pressure was done in the public should be prepared to fund good environmental practices. It doesn't talk about the, let's say, it doesn't talk about the funding here. It only says businesses with a good environmental track record. It doesn't talk about. Okay, I've got the answer here. Sorry, area. For instance, after US and public became concerned about the spread of a disease known as BSE, which was transmitted to humans through infected meats. The US government's Food and Drug Administration introduced rules demanding that the meat industry abandon practices associated with the risks of the disease and spreading. But 5 years of 5 years of the meat packers refused to follow this, claiming that they would be too expensive to obey. However, okay, then what they did, however, this is controlling idea. When a major fast food company then made the same demand after consumer purchases of its hamburgers plummeted, they decreased, and the meat industry compiled within weeks. Okay, let's see here. There is the information. What pressure was exerted? Yeah, it was by big businesses. Yeah, big businesses. In the case of this, big businesses, big businesses is here. Okay, what it a major fast company, a major fast food company. It was big business. Then they made the same demand after consumer purchases. Yeah, its hamburgers permitted, the meat industry compiled with weeks. Okay, here it says clearly. Meat packers stop now. A fast food company forced their meat stop now. Meat packers persuaded the government to reduce their expense. The fast food company encouraged the okay. What pressure was exerted by the business? Still not sure. They are trapped. Let's read a bit below. However, a major fast food company then made the same demands after customer purchases of its hamburgers permitted. The meat industry compared within weeks. The public asked is therefore to identify which links in the supply chain are sensitive to public pressure. For instance, fast chains or jewelry stores, but not meat packers or gold miners. Let's see. Mm, Meat packers stopped supplying now. Fast food company forced their meat suppliers to follow the law. Meat packers persuaded the government into reduce their expense. The fast food company encouraged government to introduce legislation. This is really tough here. We need to read back. I didn't really understand. After US public became concerned about the spread of a disease known as this, which was transmitted to humans through infected meat, and US government's Food and Drug Administration introduced rules demanding that the meat industry abandon practices with the risk of the disease spreading. But for 5 years of the meat packers refused to follow this. Okay, they refused to follow this, claiming that they would go to expense. Okay, they thought that it would be quite expensive. Later, the industry complied within weeks. Means they followed finally. Oh, this is the answer here. Meat packers pursued the government. Yeah, the answer number, the passion. Sorry, the option number C. It is quite suitable. Packers pursued the government to reduce their expenses. Yes, look. Okay, there is no environment. Okay, prepared to fund good environment practices. Environment practices. Environment practices is here. Good environment practices. Okay, there is no good environment practices. Okay, here. Oh yes, it's here. If sound environment and practices. This is the area exactly. Good means sound. Look here. I also believe that public must accept the necessity for higher prices for products to cover the added cost, if any, of sound environment. They should be ready then. They must accept. They should be ready. Yes, the answer for question number 35 is yes. It exactly says the same. Oh, yes. The answer is yes. Let's find out. There is a contrast between the moral principle of different businesses. Contrast. There is the contrast. And there is the contrast, sorry, between a moral principle of different businesses. Let's say morals of different businesses. There is a contrast. My view is some ignore the belief that businesses should act in accordance with moral principles, even if this leads to the reduction of profit. What does it talk about? Act in accordance with moral principle, then it leads to the profit. But I think we have to recognize that throughout human history, in all political complex human societies, this arises precisely. There's no information. Look here, what it says means in all businesses, okay, there is moral principle. There is contest now. There is no information given. It doesn't talk about anything. Okay, it doesn't talk about the differences. So this is not given. This is not given. Let's quickly read the question. It's pretty difficult. It is important to make a clear, clear distinction between acceptance and unacceptable behavior. Acceptable and it is important to make a clear distinction. Important to make a acceptance or unacceptance. Look here. What does it say? But I think we have to recognize that throughout human history, in our political complex human society, government regulation has arisen precisely because it was found that not only did moral principles need to be made explicit, they also need to be enforced. It only talks about the moral principle need to be made explicit clear and they should be. And it doesn't talk about unacceptable, yes. It talks about only moral principle acceptable. Oh, this is the information contradicts here. The information is the information, okay? Between acceptance, it only talks about acceptance. It doesn't talk about unacceptable. Okay, this is pretty tricky. This is no. Go on. Let's look. Another question. The public have successfully influenced businesses in the past. Okay, in the past. Let's see. Successfully influenced in the past. It doesn't talk about past. See quickly past. Here, any or previous example in politics, not matter. So, okay, here right. In the past, businesses have changed when public came to expect that require different behavior to reward business for this wanted and make it difficult to businesses and practices behaviors of the public want. Let's see, in the past, businesses have changed when the public came to accept and require different behavior to reward businesses for behavioral that the public wanted and make things difficult for business. Okay, it gives the same meaning. Here means they became able. It says that the public have successfully, yeah, exactly. The answer is yes. Pretty fine. The answer is yes here. In the future, okay, another in the future, businesses would, why does not it select? In the future, businesses will show more concern for the environment. In the future, businesses will be more concerned on the environment. Let's see in the future. I predict in the future. Okay, here. I predict in the future, just as in the past, like in the past, changes in public attitudes will be essential for changes in businesses, environmental practices. There is no information then. Look, there is no information. Businesses will show more concern. It doesn't talk about any concern. This answer is not given. This answer is not given. So we have done, and now we have to do this heading also. And we have already done the passage, and it is from the old text. What would be the best subheading of this passage? Will the world survive the threat caused by big businesses? Doesn't make sense. How can big businesses be encouraged to be less driven by profit? It doesn't. This. What environmental dangers are caused by the greed of businesses? It seems somehow tricky. Are big businesses to blame for the damage they cause the environment? Yeah, it talks about. What environmental damages are caused by the big businesses to blame? Are big business to blame for the damage? Yes, is exactly. It is more suitable. This D1 is more suitable. So let's. This text has been done, and now I'm quickly going to check the answers. Okay, you people can write and check your answers one by one later here, but it will take time for me to check the answers. I'm going to take photo of this passage number, first passage, and I'm just going to uh, compare with my photos. Okay, and this scrolling will take time here. Let's check the answers. I will not come to the answer, okay, later, because it takes time. Let's check the answers now then. uh, it's so tricky. Some two three questions are really tricky here. Anyway, let's see either we get band 8 or not. Okay, question number 27 answer is D. Pretty fine. 29 answer is F. Sorry, 29 answer is, sorry, what's wrong? 27 answer is D. 28 E, correct. 29 answer is F, correct. 30 answer is S, correct. And 31 answer is B, correct. Yeah, we have already got band 7. Let's see. We need 5 more answers, correct. Question number 32 answer is 32 answer is 30, sorry, question number 32 answer is C. Okay, the answer is wrong. It has gone wrong here. Okay, 32, I'm just going to cross it. We got one answer wrong. 33, answer 33. 33 is also wrong. The answer is D. We have got 2 wrong answers. Okay, question number, sorry, question number 32 C, answer wrong. 43 D and 34 wrong. Okay, all multiple choice questions have gone wrong. Okay, they have gone wrong, all these. Okay, very tough. Okay, here we are too fast. Anyway, let's see. We didn't get any answer from here. That's so sad. Okay, it's very tricky. 35 yes, 36 not given, correct. 38 no, correct. Sorry, 37 no, correct. 38 yes, correct. 39 not given, and 40 D. Okay, and then we got these 3 multiple choice questions wrong. Okay, these 3 means throughout this whole passage or whole test we have got 37, that is band 8, sorry. Okay, this is 37 is band 8 point, that is 8.5 here. Okay, we just got, please just you can do these multiple choice questions yourself. Okay, I'm going here, point. Okay, just it is difficult to write 5 on the screen anyway. So okay, 8.5, we have got band 8.5. I'm not going to spend time on this one. It is enough for me. If you are dissatisfied, you can read the questions and pass it again and solve the questions there. Okay, multiple choice question. Hope this has been quite helpful. I'm not worried because 1, 2, 3 questions, they are out of our level, that I understand. And if you are interested, you can do that multiple choice questions. Thank you very much for. Hope this will be fruitful, and I'll be waiting for your comment. Let's say comment, subscribe, and like. Have a good day and goodbye.